Hello, welcome to Surviving Shock. I am Stacey Johnson and I am a clinical therapist, but I have upgraded myself to a woman empowerment coach. And I am going to have a couple video series and we're going to talk about emotional regulation. It's pretty important to understand how to deal with feelings. Because if we don't know how to deal with feelings, then we tend to get them stuck. And then that's what can also create this overwhelmed feeling, this anxiety, depression. And that's what I want to help you guys with. So today we're going to talk a little bit about, first, we have to learn how to identify our feelings. And so many people struggle with this. We usually, when I work with clients, I get, when they start complaining about, maybe a relationship issue or parenting or work, and I ask them, what are you feeling? I get, well, they are doing this, this, and this. And I think this. And I say again, what are you feeling? Or where do you feel that in your body? So that's one of the first keys to understanding our emotions, is we have to learn really about the sensations that feelings bring to us. So I'm going to do an experiment with you guys, or show you what I mean about sensations. So let me see if I can set up this video here for you so we can get a better view. So the one thing I want you to do is you can do a wall sit or just get into a deep squat. And you're going to hold that there. And when you hold that deep squat, the sensations that you start to feel is what we want to start to be able to identify. Okay? So when we start to talk about sensations, that sensation while you are doing that squat is maybe burning. Maybe it feels hot. It feels tight. So those are the one of the first steps to identifying feelings is that sensations. And we want to start to be able to identify where we feel them in our body. What is, the sensation, but then also we want to be able to start to label the feelings. So again, like when I work with clients, when we start to label feelings, when they start talking to me about what they are, a situation, I'll ask them, where do you feel that in your body? And they may start to explain that it is in their chest, or maybe it's in their throat, or they feel their face feeling warm. And then I'll start to try to get them to label the feeling. And again, they may start to say, well, yeah, my face feels hot when, this person at work does X, Y, and Z, and I say again, just try to describe that with a emotional word. And I'll get, again, the description of what is happening and maybe where they feel it in their bodies. And then I'll say again, describe that with an emotional word. And again, and then I'll say, well, it sounds like it's frustrating when you are, when you're facing this situation at work. And they say, yes, I feel angry. Okay, now we're getting somewhere because that's an emotional word. And then I'll have them use the feelings wheel, and we start to, again, look at the words on the feelings wheel, because anger is one feeling, but then there's other layers to these feelings. And starting to label feelings gets us to start identifying the feelings. And so one way to help us become more aware of our feelings and our sensations is using mindfulness. So like right now, I'm walking outside. And so using mindfulness, like right now, if I want to get more in the moment, I take a deep breath and I can take a moment to start, like I can feel the sunshine, I can feel the breeze in my hair. In the background, I can hear like a lawnmower or some form of yard equipment. And I can even hear the dogs barking next door. So you start to take these moments and when we get more in the moment, then we can start to identify the feelings. And that's the first step in regulating our emotions, is that we have to be able to identify the feelings with the emotional words. So this is the first step to emotional regulation, is identifying feelings. So we're going to do a second part when it will become because we're not even talking about the triggers yet. We're not even talking about, what do we do, what, like our thoughts that come along with emotions as part of emotional regulation, or even like dealing with the emotions. We're just at the first step where we have to label the feelings. You can use feelings wheels. They are Googled, and I am starting a 30-day journey with emotions. It's an adventure, an emotional experience, and we're going to really dive into this emotional regulation. It starts April 10th. The link is going to be down in the comment or in the description below for if you would like to get more information. But there is going to be an emotional wheel that you will be able to download and use in that experience. But your emotional wheels are everywhere on the computer, but you want to really start to label feelings is the first step. All right, we'll talk to you soon in the next part of emotional regulation.